All right, I got a new project to work on. I've already started it, but I'm going to use this video to kind of catch up where it's at and tell some of the backstory here. A friend of mine, asked that I do like a vlog type style when I do this build. This is not going to be a how-to video. I'm just going to kind of video as I go along and what I'm building. So for the backstory here, I already have a 2002 Mustang GT convertible I bought 2 years ago. And I've been looking for the last 6 months or so for a Fox Mustang to start a build, something I wanted to build for a very long time. And in December, a deal popped up that was exactly what I wanted, and I ended up with it. So what you're looking at here is an 87 Mustang GT. The car was completely together when I bought it. The engine was blown up by the previous owner, and he was right up front, everything that happened to the car. And as I tore it down, everything that he said was there, and everything that was wrong with it was there. So the deal, I got an 87 Mustang GT with a fully built 302, although damaged, and a 76 millimeter on-3 turbo kit, and T56 6-speed transmission there. We're going to go over this car in more detail in a minute here. So the deal was that car and a 91 Mustang LX that's got the GT trim on the outside of it. This car is mostly complete. The interior and everything is there. The engine is just a head and block. The intake, all the computer wiring, and the computer is missing. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this car yet. I have some ideas of a build. I might just sell it. I don't know. But I want to focus this video on this car because I'm going to document some of the build process now. The teardown, I wanted to really pay attention to how the car was put together. I'm pretty good at putting stuff together that I took apart. So I just had the heat on the radio and just kind of enjoyed taking it apart. Didn't really want to film much of it. But the motor's out of the car. We'll get to that. And this is what it took to get it out. This is a Tremec T56 with SFI bell housing, 6-speed transmission. As far as I know, that's good. Here we've got, this is a Ford Performance Boss 302 block. And the engine went lean on the previous owner and cracked 3 pistons, put a hole in one. So it is now back from the machine shop, all ready to be put back together. Fortunately, they were able to fix it. It was bored 60 over, and all the damage came out of the cylinder. So this is ready to go. I've got all my parts laid out on the bench here. Everything's clean and ready to go back together. We've got a McLeod twin disc clutch. A water pump, front cover, all the old bearings. Valve covers, we have AFR aluminum heads, 205 cc, 58 cc combustion chamber. So I should have a compression ratio of about 8.8 to 1. These are the old pistons that came out of it. And number 8, this is the piston with the hole in it. So that took out, put a nice gouge in the cylinder wall. Let's see what else we got. A couple of these others are broken. There should be 2 more broken ones. Oh yes, here. Part of that's missing. That didn't damage the cylinder wall. And this one. I don't know. There's one more that looks just like that. Doesn't matter. They're all garbage anyway. Oh, in addition to the deal, another thing I forgot, the 2 cars, and up in my attic, I have all the extra parts that came with it. He had an entire interior for Fox Mustang. Every single interior part and every nut and bolt to put it back together. Because the plan, he wanted to switch this over to an all black interior. But I think I'm going to leave it red and black because I like the two-tone. But we'll see. I'm going to get it running first. All the parts of the car back here. These are all the relatively clean parts. So we've got our 76 millimeter ball bearing turbo from On3 Performance. And then we've got all of our piping, intercooler piping, the headers, the intercooler, and headlights and stuff up there. Basically most of the stuff that's clean. There's no oil in any of those parts. I got all dirty parts out here. We got fuel rails, 60-pound injectors. So I'm getting ready to put everything back together now. And some of the new parts are coming in. So I'll go over some of those. So here we have the Pistons. They're going back. These are DSS Racing forged Pistons. They're the 4230 forgings. They're FX series, their highest end. Very, very nice. I went with DSS. They seem to specialize. They got their start with small block Fords, and they make a lot of stuff for Ford. So I trust that they know what they're doing. So we want those Pistons and their piston ring kit. And I got a few other parts over here. This is just miscellaneous stuff to complete the car. Here we have emergency brake cables, all new hardware to put the front bumper back together. The existing hardware is kind of rusty. You know, all the nuts and bolts I need to put that back together. And a couple interior switches the car is missing. As right now the car has no emergency brakes. I assume the cables are probably rusted and they just cut them off. So they're going to go back on. And then we go over here is the cam. We've got a trick flow cam. And over here, safely out of the way so it doesn't get bumped into, is an Eagle forged crank. And finally, I guess the last thing I'll cover is love living in the age of the internet. Since nothing about this engine is stock, the factory service manual is not going to be of much help. So you can actually go online and print out all the instruction sheets for all the parts that are in this car. So this is for the block. It's going to tell me all my torque values, everything I need to know put together. For my trick flow manifold, again, everything I need to put together. The AFR heads and the ARP bolts that go with those heads. Tells me everything I need to know. So I think I'm going to end it here. I guess I don't know what else I to cover. This is just kind of just status of where I'm at for now. But I've got a big order coming from Summit Racing. It hasn't shipped yet. So when that gets here, I'll open that up. And that should be everything I need to put this motor back together. I did spend a couple of days putting the list together. So I think I got everything. And if I missed anything, hopefully I can get it locally. But this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. And that motor, the dyno seat, made 600 horsepower when it was running. So I don't know what it's going to make when I build it. All right. Well, thanks for watching. And I'll have another update as more parts arrive. And then I'll make some videos as I start putting the motor together.